A few days ago, we had the non-tender deadline. Teams had the option to tender contracted players eligible for arbitration or not give them anything. And there were a lot of really good players that were non-tendered at the deadline. So in today's video, we're keeping it simple. We're keeping it sweet. I'm giving you the 10 best players that were non-tendered in the 2021 offseason that your team should add to their roster today. If you guys have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. We got the 12 days of rankings coming up in just a few days. So make sure you sub so you don't miss out on any of that content. And also make sure you drop me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description to all my social media. Let's hop into the rankings for the top 10 non-tendered free agents for the 2021 offseason. Getting us started at the number 10 spot, we have former Minnesota Twins reliever Matt Wisler. A bit of an odd pick, but let me explain. Last year, in 18 appearances, 25 and a third innings, Matt Wisler was absolutely disgusting. A 1.07 ERA, a whip at 1.145, those are really good, and even a FIP at 3.35, all really good numbers for a reliever. His K per 9 was at an all-time high at 12.4 Ks per 9. He did walk some guys, 5 walks per 9 innings, but didn't give up hits, didn't give up home runs, 5.3 hits and 0.7 home runs. The big thing to take note of with Matt Wisler is how good he was in the advanced numbers. Exit velo, 85th percentile. Hard hit rate, 91st. xWOBA, 93. xERA, 93. I mean, all of the major categories on Baseball Savant, he was an 85 or higher, and most of them 90 or higher. He had a fantastic season in 2020, and while it is a bit of a risk, you could probably get him very cheap, and he could be really useful to your team in the bullpen. So Matt Wisler getting a start at number 10. For the 9th best non-tendered free agent of the 2021 offseason, I got Brian Goodwin, who was with the Angels and Reds in 2020. Now in 2019, because of injuries and other things going on with the Angels, Goodwin saw for the first time in his career some actual playing time, and he had a pretty nice season. 17 homers, 29 doubles, and 47 RBIs in 138 games, hitting .262 with a .326 on base, .470 slugging, and a .796 OPS. In 2020, continued on to have a decent start to the year with the Angels, .793 OPS through the first 30 games, but he fell off a bit with the Reds the last 20, and for a team who really needs a center fielder and not another corner guy, Brian Goodwin just didn't fit in there, which is why you would see him be non-tendered for the amount of money he was worth. But Brian Goodwin as a fourth outfielder, as a depth piece, not as your everyday guy, is a really good guy to have. He does a lot of the things that you need in a fourth outfielder, and as a replacement type player, he's good. It's just you shouldn't be building your entire team around Brian Goodwin. I don't think anybody is, but out of non-tenders, he's a pretty good left-handed bat that you could grab to your team. At number 8, I got a little bit of a weird pick, and definitely not one of the best players in baseball, but I got Hanzo Alberto, who was on the Orioles the last 2 seasons. Alberto's a weird player. He pretty much just only hits for average, kind of refuses to walk, but he also refuses to strike out. In 2019, only struck out 50 times in 550 plate appearances. Pretty good, but again, he only walked 16 times as well. Let's give you the numbers for the 2 years combined. Alberto in 2019 and 2020 combined averaged about 8 homers, 18 doubles, and 36 RBIs a season, hitting .299 with a .322 on base, .413 slugging, and a .735 OPS, given an OPS plus at 96. Again, like Brian Goodwin, Hanzo Alberto should not be your everyday second baseman, but a guy who can sit on the bench, play multiple positions on the infield. He has some value there. He's going to hit for a high average, so he's a good pinch hit option, especially if the National League doesn't have the DH again this year. While he's not going to be the difference between your team being good and great, if you do need that depth, if you need a backup shortstop, second baseman, third baseman, whatever it is, Hanzo Alberto can be a really good option, and he's not going to cost you anything, so he would be a pretty decent pickup. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we've got the 25-year-old Nomar Mizara. He is a player that, I just can't wrap my head around. I am waiting for him to be good. He has all the tools to be good. He should be good, but he just hasn't done it. He has made some sort of improvement every single year from 2016 to 19, but then 2020, he was atrocious with the White Sox. I thought maybe that would be the big step for him. Absolutely not. 1 homer, 6 doubles, and 15 RBIs and 136 at-bats, 589 OPS. That's bad. But all the previous years, like I said, from 16 to 19, he improved upon his OPS, going from 739 to 786. He has big power potential. We've seen this guy hit the longest home run in the StatCast era. I think he hit it 500 plus feet. He should be significantly better, but yet we're still here waiting for it. The fact that he's only going to be going into his 26-year-old season still gives me hope. Just play better, dude. You are good. There's a good player somewhere inside of him. Well, for number 6, never in my life did I think I'd say this, but Hansel Robles is the 6th best non-tendered free agent. Now, of course, I never thought I'd say that because with the Mets, he gave me nightmares. All he did was give up home runs. I have images of him pointing to the sky for what he thought was a fly ball and ended up going 500 yards engraved into my memory. But since he joined the Angels, he's been pretty good. Now, 2020 was atrocious. That was the Hansel Robles we all remember. Weirdly enough, though, he struck out more batters than he ever did per 9 innings at 10.8, but he was giving up an insane amount of homers, an insane amount of hits, and walking more batters than he ever did. But when you look at what he did in 2019, in the second half of the season in 2018 with the Angels, that's pretty good. An ERA hovering around 2.5, 2.6. A whip hovering around 1.1. That was the pitcher that us as Mets fans had been waiting for. I think you take the risk on him. It's not going to cost you a lot. And for relievers, he might be a really good option for you at only 30 years old. Now here's where the good players start to come in, because at number 5, getting the top 5 started off, we've got Adam Duvall, who was with the Atlanta Braves the last 3 seasons, and the Reds. Duvall the last 2 years has been a really good piece for the Braves. He has gotten more at-bats against right-handed pitching due to the fact that there's just more right-handed pitching available, but the real value in him is when he faces lefties. When he faces lefties, he absolutely mashes, like puts up an OPS close to 1,000, destroys them. Against righties, he's still fine. He's hovering around like that 730, 740 area, and in 2020, he had an above 800 OPS against righties. But for a guy who's got some decent speed, a pretty good glove in the outfield, and has some power in his bat, there's going to be a team that has some value in this guy. 2019 and 2020 combined, he played in just under 100 games, 26 homers, 12 doubles, 52 RBIs, a 248 average with a 307 on base, 545 slugging, and 852 OPS. Those are really good numbers for an outfielder. Adam Duvall is going to be a really good pickup for some team, and you're going to get some power with a right-handed bat out of him. Next up, at number 4, our final pitcher of the video, Archie Bradley, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds and more so the Arizona Diamondbacks. Archie Bradley is really good. Ever since making the switch from starter to reliever in 2017, he's been very, very good. From 2017 to 2020, so his numbers as a reliever, 2.95 ERA, whip at 1.197, a K per 9 of almost 10, less than 1 home run per 9 innings, 3.1 walks and 7.7 hits. 2017, he had a phenomenal year, a 1.73 ERA, and even last year when he moved to the Reds in 2020, for the 6 games he was there, a 1.17 ERA, whip under 1 at 0.522. I mean, very, very small sample size, but I feel like it shows you what kind of pitcher Archie Bradley can be. He has shown us in the past that he's good. He's got good pitches. He's filthy. He throws hard. Should he be the closer anymore for your team? Maybe not, but as a 7th, 8th inning guy, Archie Bradley can be really good to a team that needs it. I wouldn't be surprised if the team like the Dodgers go after him, or the Phillies should be hopping all over this guy. Go get Archie Bradley. It's not going to cost you a lot, and he will be effective. Coming at the number 3 spot, we start our surprising non-tenders, and the first one is Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber, no longer part of the Chicago Cubs, when he's been one of their more consistent hitters the last 3 years. Now, 2020 for Schwarber was a weird season. 11 homers in 59 games. Still walked a lot, though. 30 walks in 224 plate appearances, gave him an on-base percentage of 308 despite a 188 batting average, but outside the home runs, wasn't really hitting for much power, only a 393 slugging to give him a 701 OPS, but the 2 years before that, that's what we're looking at. That's when Schwarber was at his best, and he was averaging 32 homers, 22 doubles, 76 RBIs, a 245 average with a 347 on base, 503 slugging, and 849 OPS. Those are the numbers I'm looking at. 2020, I'm chalking it up to a weird season, no proper spring training, so while Kyle Schwarber might be a man maybe without a position, that left-handed power bat plays everywhere. Someone's going to give him money, and you should. He's really good. For the second best non-tendered player of the 2021 offseason, Minnesota Twins again, Eddie Rosario. Eddie Rosario is a surprise, I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people kind of expect it, but still, the fact that this good of a player got non-tendered by a team who is good, kind of crazy, but also, they do have a lot of outfield prospects, so. Since receiving steady playing time in 2017, Eddie Rosario has been really good. From 2017 to 19, he averaged 28 homers, 31 doubles, and 88 RBIs a season, 284 average, 317 on base, 495 slugging, and 813 OPS, got a cannon of an arm, athletic build, but he just drops a lot of fly balls. That is his one knock. And of course, he doesn't walk, refuses to. In 2020, we saw him walk a little more. 13 homers, 7 doubles, 42 RBIs. He walked 19 times, which was almost as much as he did in the entire 2019 season. Despite having 360 less plate appearances, he has a lot of value. Somebody is going to hop on this guy real quickly. He's only going into his 29-year-old season. You need a corner outfielder. Take a look at Eddie Rosario. He will help your team be a lot better for sure. And then coming in at number 1, easily the biggest surprise of all the non-tenders, David Dahl. David Dahl is an exceptional player when he's healthy. The problem with David Dahl is he hasn't really ever been healthy. 2016, 63 games. Was really good though in those 63. 2018, 77. 2019, 100. 2020, he only played in 24 games. I mean, the biggest knock on this guy is that he can't stay healthy. From 2016 to 2020, he's played a total of 264 games, an average of 66 games a season. That is really, really tough, especially for a Rockies team who's kind of in between rebuilding and not. I mean, I'm shocked that they just straight up cut this guy because he would have value on the trade block, and at worst, he's an incredible 4th outfielder. I mean, 286 average, 334 on base, 494 slugging, 828 OPS. Those are really good numbers, especially if you're going to play him in center field offensively. And then defensively, while he does project better as a corner outfielder, in center field, he's not atrocious. Now, he's by no means good, but he's also been playing center field in Colorado, which is one of the largest outfields in baseball. Get him in a smaller park. You might see better results defensively as well. So those are the 10 best non-tendered free agents from the 2021 offseason. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. below. Did you agree with me? Disagree with me? Who do you think is the best non-tendered free agent? Remember to subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy what you saw here, as well as drop a like. That always helps out. Drop me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description as always. And that is where I'm going to end today's video. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. We're coming at you with that off-season content. It's coming in hot. Bye.